find this?
Greetings and good evening. Welcome to the Roundtable, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Friday, September the 5th, 2025. And welcome to the inaugural weekend of the NFL year's first Roundtable episode. We got some exciting games this weekend that we're going to go over. One starting right now, as a matter of fact, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers are kicking off in Brazil on this fine Friday night, kicking off the 2025 season for both of those teams, who obviously have Super Bowl aspirations themselves, along with 14 other games that we are going to try to touch on tonight and to make sure that we do not forget about the best sport in the entire country, college football. We're going to hit on a couple of key games that are going to kind of continue to shape the national championship picture, at least early on in the season. And there is no one better that I would prefer to have that conversation with, that dialogue with, along with the Roundtable family, of course. They're my brother Griff, who we have created and generated and put together a covenant of football knowledge, football history, football expertise, and we are going to share that with the audience, not only tonight, but throughout the next 6 months. So I want to give a heartfelt thank you and welcome to all of the Roundtable family that are watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, and or TikTok. And we are looking forward to the conversation tonight, the engagement with each and every one of you. We're going to hit all of the big games, starting with last night's season opener between the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys, who surprised a whole lot of people, ladies and gentlemen, this guy included. We're going to get into it. Are y'all ready? We're ready. Griff, 1,700 NFL players are realizing their dream this weekend, whether it is a rookie or a 20-year pro. Every year is a blessing. This weekend marks something that they have worked for their entire lives, to have the opportunity to be on an NFL roster at the very beginning of a season, chasing that dream of hoisting the Vince Lombardi trophy up at the end of this regular season, these next playoffs, and Super Bowl 60. My brother, welcome to another season of Roundtable. You ready to have this conversation and this dialogue, my man? How we
Ready?
doing?
Hell yeah, I was ready. Man, you know, I look forward to get on here every Friday, man, and chatting up with you, brother. Well, every Friday and Tuesday, man, just to talk football and just see how everybody out there in the round table world is doing. I just want to welcome all of the round table family. And go ahead, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit them comment section. Let us know where you logging in from. If you're on TikTok, make sure you give us some stars. Let us know that you loving what you're seeing. And man, let's get into it. There go Mr. D Hicks right there off the grip. Let's get it.
Last night, but we have some phenomenal games. Looking at the opening weekend schedule, we have some phenomenal games scheduled throughout this opening weekend that will, like I said in my opening monologue, set the stage for how not only September and October football are going to unfold, but how November, December, and January football are going to be strategized from the very beginning of the season, because we have a few big games matching up some key teams that are Super Bowl contenders. And how you start off the season, how you set the tone, making that first impression a lasting impression. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, we got some good football on the slate this weekend. Let's get into it.
Hey,
My man.
Drew, can I say this right fast?
Yes, sir.
Because how you start don't always mean how you gonna finish. Because I do know a team down in New Orleans that started out pretty hot last year.
Wow. So we're bringing up old stuff.
Because
But
I already know you about to get into my boys, man. I already know what's about to happen. So I just
since
want to let people know, just because you start out on fire don't always mean you're gonna end out there. And then
no,
just because
you're absolutely
you
right.
lose it, just because you lose up front don't mean that you're gonna start out bad on the back end either. So I just wanted to put that out there.
You are absolutely right, man, because two of my favorite teams to talk about, unbeknownst to you, are the Saints and the Cincinnati Bengals. Why? Because I'm from Louisiana. Saints is the home team. Joe Burrow is an adopted son. Jamar Chase and the rest of that LSU team that inhabits Cincinnati makes them a home team. And they are both examples of what you just said. Start off hot, beating the Cowboys 93-7, and then go on a 12-game losing streak. And the Cincinnati Bengals losing the first, it's like they take the month of September off, right? And half of October, and then decide to wake up around Halloween time to try to catch up with the rest of the NFL playoff team. So we'll talk about them later. But you are absolutely right. Thank you for that correction. Um, it is not always hot about how you start, but how you finish. But anyways, opening weekend, we got some big games. And last night, ladies and gentlemen, we started off with the defending, even though they don't look at themselves as the defending Super Bowl champions. We are 6 months freshly removed from a complete annihilation of a two-time repeated Super Bowl champion in the Kansas City Chiefs. So there were some lofty expectations coming into this season for the Philadelphia Eagles. Whether or not that offense could pick up where it left off last year with a new offensive coordinator, a new offensive scheme, Saquon and Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Goddard and all that offensive line returning, could they still be as effective? Could the defense that lost some key players from last year's Super Bowl team come back and look similar to what they looked like last year? And we were ready for an exciting game. And yes, we did have an exciting game, but we were ready for one of those slobber knockers. And then on the very first play, after, not even the very first play, after the kickoff, the picture that we have up on the screen, the spit that was seen around the sports world, where you've seen it from every angle by this point, where Jalen Carter believed that he was being disrespected and challenged by the quarterback from Griff's team. They're not America's team. I will not refer to them as that. They thought, or Jalen Carter thought, that I'm not going to get punked on the very first play, not realizing that the ref was sitting right next to him or an official was sitting right next to him and was going to actually call him on his stuff, because apparently this year, Griff, the NFL is cracking down on taunting.
Yes, sir.
There shall be no taunting in the National Football League this year, giving it the name of the National Football League and not what it used to be called. So, man, are you surprised that Jalen Carter, and we're going to talk about the actual game, but I want to address this photo real quick, did what he did and was surprised that he got called on it immediately and summarily dismissed from the game before it actually.
Stuff like you don't just start spitting on people, man. That's all. I'm gonna leave it at that. I've been playing football since I was about 7 years old, And again, I know the verdict is still out on the whole story, but what I do know is that one of the most disrespectful things you could ever do to somebody is spit on them. Other than slap a man with an open hand, it don't get no worse than that, man. And
Yeah.
this ain't the first time. Jalen Carter has a history of
Mhm.
doing stuff, even when he was at Georgia. And so
Mhm.
what he did was he almost cost his team a game last night because it was obvious that they was missing him last night, and it allowed the Cowboys to do something that people said the Cowboys couldn't do, and I was able to run the ball last night. I feel that if he was playing, and I know we built our team to be able to do what we was doing, but I think it would have been a lot harder to do it with him sitting up there filling that gap up. And yeah, it's unexcusable. It is no excuse that he can give me because even if Dak spit it, even when they showing the video, that I mean, again, Dak spit down toward the ground. He didn't spit at that dude. So if he really wanted to call himself getting back at Dak, spit to the side. But I mean, he clearly looked. He walked up to the man and spit on him. No excuse.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. There is no excuse. It was one of the most immature things that you could do because you are now the guy on defense, right? You are now the face of the Philadelphia Eagle defense in the 2025 era. You are right there on the poster next to Jalen Hurts. You are right there on the poster next to other key offensive players like Saquon. Why would you think that all eyes are not on you as the face of the franchise on defense, but on the most paid quarterback in the National Football League? This is Dak's big return as well. And we know Dak has a history of not only playing well against the Eagles, but kind of overperforming against a Eagles team that we thought coming into this year that they were going to be Super Bowl contenders on defense again, right? So there were some key plays. There were some key plays that happened throughout this game that kind of made the difference, right? So let's actually analyze the game and talk about how the game unfolded.
I'm just my mind is blown when you said over. What is you said? Oh, we was overachievers last night.
I
You
said that.
you you that, but you look. I told you this game was going to be close. I told you this on Tuesday. You the
Yeah,
one said 14 points. You
yeah,
said that, not me.
yeah.
Everybody thought because Michael Parsons was gone that it was going to be a big issue. But I knew the offense was going to look completely better. Dak is healed, and then to be able to have some receivers, not just CeeDee Lamb, but another guy on the other side, which causes defenses to play honest. I knew the offense was going to be okay. My question the whole time was what my defense was going to look like. So
Mhm.
let's get into it.
Let's get into it, my man. All right. So success on the offensive side looked like what for the Philadelphia Eagles early on in the game? It was Dallas making sure that we do what we need to do defensively to one, stop Saquon. So I give y'all props. I give you props, Griff. I give you props. I did not think that your run defense was going to be able to hold up against the offensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles, but Philadelphia has been able to adapt and overcome because, like they said last year, just because we don't doesn't mean we can't.
Mm-hmm.
We have other ways to beat you. We have all other ways to get the ball downfield. So Dallas did an excellent job stopping the run. Not necessarily early on, but throughout the game. Early on, when they focused on stopping Devontae Smith getting the ball, AJ Brown, who didn't smell the ball until late in the game, Jalen Hurts knew that his line gave him enough time to create avenues for him to get those yardages or those yards that he got early on in the game on those first couple of drives that generated into 2 touchdowns. So Jalen Hurts was the offense in the first half for the Philadelphia Eagles.
He was,
Excellent
he
job.
was the offense for the Philadelphia Eagles the whole game. He was the offense. If we really want to keep it real, he was the offense. You go back and look at the numbers.
Mhm.
Saquon had maybe one or two good runs. The receivers
Right.
weren't even a factor in the game. The problem was the Cowboys playing man defense. You know what? Them guys got their back to Jalen. And Jalen took what, people talk bad about Jalen, but Jalen took what the defense gave him. And I can't be mad at him for that.
I feel you, man. So, I mean, we've run out of time. This was a very good game. this showed me that the Philadelphia Eagles are beatable because Dallas was able to run on them. This showed me that Dallas is better than I gave them credit for coming into the season. So I retract the statement, Griff, that y'all are solidly in third, possibly fourth place in your own division. And now I give you this new statement that you could possibly compete for the number 2 spot. You're not the number 2 team in the division, but you could possibly create some havoc. So we shall see what the Cowboys got next Sunday against those G men. All right. Now let us transition to the game that is actually happening now in Brazil. The Kansas City Chiefs, who obviously we all know were vying to three-peat last year, but failed and failed miserably because the Philadelphia Eagles completely chopped them off at the knees offensively. But this year, all of the talk around Kansas City was or is they're actually better than that 15-2 team from last year. How could you improve on a 15-2 team that was in the Super Bowl and predicted to come out of the Super Bowl as the three-time Super Bowl champions? Well, they have some weapons back. They come into the season a little hobble at the key positions with, I believe Rice is out for 4 to 5 or 6 weeks.
6 games. He got a 6 game suspension.
Okay, so but we know that Patrick Mahomes doesn't really need a plethora of weapons to march down the field and score because Andy Reid's system is second to none. So Jim Harbaugh usually, and when I say usually, I'm talking about historically, wherever he has been at whatever level, whether it's mid American conference colleges or universities, or the Stanfords of the world, or the San Francisco 49ers of the world, or the Michigan Wolverines of the world, he creates winners. Justin Herbert comes into the season with all of the physical attributes that people can give him credit for, but he has yet to prove it on the field. What are you looking for throughout this game to see if the Chargers actually have something for the Chiefs, or will they show the Chiefs that they are here to take the AFC West?
I think if the Chargers can control the running game, keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, the Chargers definitely gonna win this game. And that's a strategy. That's a strategy that Harbaugh uses, man. And as I'm sitting up here looking at right now, they actually falling right in line with what I was talking about. They and then look, Worthington got hurt already. So you talking about another key part to the Chiefs offense that's going that as much as you say they don't need he don't need a whole bunch of pieces. He needs something.
Yeah,
Yeah, they was 15-2 last year, but those 15-2 could have easily been uh 7
10 and
and whatever.
7.
Because I mean they won a lot of games that was like, less than one, 2 3 point games. And so
Mhm.
uh I think the Chargers, if they can control the ball, keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, and force Patrick Mahomes to beat them, I think they're gonna be all right. I don't think they need a lot from Herbert because of the running game and how this team is built. As you noticed last year, Herbert numbers went down because Harbaugh is that guy that like to run the ball and play good defense. And with the addition of Najee Harris, and then you got this kid Hamilton over there, I think that's what they're gonna do. You're gonna see, Lab McConkey gonna get his. And who else they got? Didn't they get D? Who got D? They got D Hop or D.
No, Baltimore got D Hop.
Yeah. So I think they can do it, man. They inside the red zone right now as we speak.
No, I mean you're absolutely right. The Los Angeles Chargers do come into the season fully set up for success. Now it is on them to actually execute that on the field. I truly do have faith that Jim Harbaugh is going to put a better product on the field each and every week throughout this year that has stifled the Chargers, even with the same level of talent or sometimes more talent that they have on their squad this year, that made the difference. And coaching makes a difference. And we shall see vast improvement, I believe, throughout this season from Justin Herbert. One, cutting back on the historical turnovers. Albeit last year he had just 3 interceptions all year and then decided to throw 4 in the playoff game just to throw it away. But it shows you that there is growth there, which gives them that shot to actually beat Kansas City not only tonight, but to make some real noise within their division and make sure that they are properly seeded for a deep playoff run. But looking at the tonight factor, you're going up against the best quarterback in the game right now, possibly in the 21st century, possibly ever. Time shall tell. And a head coach who not only knows how to win within the division, but has done it so often that we stopped counting the record that he has within his division. This game is going to be an extremely close game coming down to the fourth quarter later on tonight. It's going to come down to like what we saw last night. I do believe that when given the opportunity, when given the chance, Patrick Mahomes comes through, especially in the division. So I don't look for Andy Reid to lose tonight's home opener. Chiefs going to win this one. Who you got?
I got the Chiefs in this game too.
Okay. All right, man. We got you, Jordan. Thank you for that alarm because that is one of the most annoying sounds that people like to hear or don't like to hear in the morning. And it should be a constant reminder to the next two teams that we are going to talk about because these next two teams, the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills, have been predicted, talked about, analyzed, dissected, and projected to be in the Super Bowl at least for the last 5 years. And they haven't been able to get there. Why? Because neither one of them have been able to beat that Goliath. They cannot slay the giant. They cannot get past Patrick Mahomes, whether it is at Arrowhead or whether it is at your own house. He simply instills fear into these two teams for some specific reason when it comes to playoff football. But this is one of those two teams. This is their year to do just what I talked about them not being able to do historically. This is one of those games that I said coming right out of the gate is going to make a difference, not only in week one, but also in week 14, 15, and 16 or 17 when we're talking about seeding, because we're just going to automatically assume and put both of these two teams in the playoffs. What do you want going into the playoffs? That number one seed. Looking at Kansas City's schedule this year, people don't believe that Kansas City will be able to do what they did last year with that 15-2 record. There's more like a 13-5, maybe 12, or a 13-4 or 12-5 record for Kansas City, which opens the door for both Baltimore and Buffalo to snag that number one seed. And Sunday night, the battle between the two most recent MVPs happens in the same place that broke Buffalo or Baltimore's heart last year in Buffalo. And if you remember, Griff, after the last show last year, we brought our producer on, my man Jordan, to talk about what the expectations were at the end of the season for Baltimore heading into the offseason draft, free agency, how we are going to fix the team if the team needs fixing, how we are going to readdress the things that caused us not to be able to beat Buffalo, to ensure that when we come into the 2025 season, not only are we locked in, we're going to be favored in this poll, that poll, or any other poll about not only being competitive in the playoff, but most likely getting to the Super Bowl. And Jordan said he has some choice words for Coach Harbaugh during the off season. So here we are again, man. Jordan, welcome back.
Welcome back, guys.
Back
Thank you, Round Table Crew.
in the limelight, my man. How are your guys going to start off this season and ensure that LJ8, who is also great, reclaims the title of not only the best quarterback in the game, his third, in air quotes, regular season MVP,
Mm-hmm.
and ensure that you actually use the one or the second best running back in the game to get y'all that Vince Lombardi trophy this year?
Hey, I think it all starts in prep, right? It starts in the training camps. and over the summer, right? So I think the Ravens they took a deep dive and they saw what they did wrong last year, and they didn't run the ball. They didn't run the ball in that last game. They should have gave it to King Henry more, and I think it really stung. Obviously, we had the Mark Andrews drop and all that, but I think this year is going to be different. I think they're actually going to stick to the script, and the Ravens look good. You guys saw them in preseason; they won out, and it's going to be a good season.
All right, we're gonna see. We're gonna talk about that season here in a little bit. But looking directly at this game, what are you looking at for your offense, right? Because that is going to be the focal point of your team, at least in the beginning of the season. What do you want to see from Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and all of those other weapons that you have on that offense to ensure that we are putting up regularly 35 points a game?
hmm I think this game's going to look a little bit different because we do have Isaiah Likely out and Patrick Ricard, I believe. So the offense might look a little bit different, but it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be run the ball. Lamar's going to be playing smart. Every single year that Lamar is, coming in, this is his eighth season. He passes the ball even better than the year before, right? Not only is he a good runner, but he is a great quarterback too. So I think each year he just gets more comfortable back there. So we're going to see that. So it's his eighth season. He's a veteran now. So it's going to be, it's just going to be another game for him. It's going to be tough. Obviously, it's the Buffalo Bills, but the Ravens got this. I think they're going to shock everybody on Sunday night. They show out on primetime games. They are known for showing out on these primetime games.
That is true, depending on the team. All right, so Griff, we done heard him hype Lamar up because there are lofty expectations for Lamar this year. There are a lot of not only expectations but belief that he is going to create some separation between him and Josh. So I got a question for you, Griff. Twofold question, right? Looking at it from the Buffalo perspective, there are also favorites come in to this season as possible Super Bowl contenders. They want that number one seed. In many projections that we see, they end up with the number one seed simply because of their schedule, their division, and how the games that Baltimore and both Kansas City got to play, right? Because that's their competition, at least throughout most of the national media, right? So, how does Buffalo ensure that they defend Orchard Field? We defend this house and let Buffalo or Baltimore know right from the very beginning of the season. We're going to see each other again, but we're going to see each other again right here. How do they defend home field, and which quarterback is under the most pressure this year?
I still say the pressure is on Lamar. I mean, I'm just going to be Josh Allen. There's never been no pressure on Josh Allen. Josh Allen he got different rules. Lamar, you talk about the separation where it was separation. If you look at the numbers from last year, Lamar had a huge separation from Josh Allen. But who got the MVP? The pressure is on Lamar. Lamar can get all the accolades, he can get all the yards, the passing yards, and all this stuff. Until he get past that hump and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, the naysayers are always going to have something to say. Josh Allen is always going to get a pass, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
So you talk about that pass. I don't think it's a pass in the sense to where we may possibly think it's a pass. He does not have the same level of talent on his team that Lamar Jackson has. That's number one. He shows up in the playoffs. That's number two. His team, his defense may not show up, but he shows up historically, no matter who the opposing team is. Lamar, historically, that's my guy. LJ8 is great. He is the best football player in the National Football League. The second best quarterback, but the best football player. But historically, we have a substandard kind of Dak Prescott type of record in the playoffs. Not taking a jab, not taking a jab, not taking a jab, not taking a jab. I'm just stating facts. Right. So we have to prove it like you said. So it's not an unfair advantage or a pass for Josh. It is that Josh shows up in the playoffs. Lamar has not. The regular season separation is there, like you made mention, because Lamar does usually have more pass yards or close to. And Jordan is absolutely right. He gets better and better and better and better and betterer as a passer every single year. You know what I mean? every single year.
You done went Cardi B on us, bro.
Yeah. So you're right. The pressure is on Lamar because of those lofty expectations. But again, coming into the 2025 season, just like the 2024 season, the Baltimore Ravens are above everybody else as it pertains to on the field talent. You just got to make sure that you stay healthy enough and use a game plan for each opponent appropriately to make sure that you come out of that with that dub every single week to get that number one seed, to make sure that everything goes through right off of exit 53 on Interstate 95 and be more. So it's on you, Raven City. It's on you, Jordan. It's on you, Karen. It's on all y'all to make sure that you
Yeah.
stay in John Harbaugh's ear to make sure he coaches correctly all year.
Just hey, let me say this right fast, Drew, because we got to move on. I just want to give a big shout out to my sister Karen. She's going live from TikTok. She was having problems getting on from Facebook. I think I seen Troy say he went to YouTube as well. So Facebook been acting kind of ugly here lately. But yeah, it's all about y'all. Y'all had the talent, but when you don't get through that playoffs, I'm gonna say this. I blame that on coaching. That's all I'm gonna leave it at that. Because you got everything that you're supposed to have. Last year, hey, you didn't have to go to the school of hard knocks to learn what you needed to do to win that game against Buffalo last year. Y'all stopped running the ball. And that's why y'all weren't playing in the AFC championship game. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, and Fred asked the question, which quarterback is better? Lamar Jackson is a better quarterback.
Lamar Jackson, by all means, Lamar Jackson is better in my eyes. But again, I watched football. I knew what was going to happen last year. Even we can sit up here and we can debate it all year, all we want to. But like Drew, you hit it on the head. Lamar had way more talent on his team last year
Mhm.
than Josh Allen did, and they took that into consideration as well when they picked the MVP. Because that man got his team where they needed to be basically with his legs because he didn't have nobody to throw the ball to.
Right, right. And it begs the question, when does the voting close for the
Mhm.
regular season MVP? Right? Because I know we talked about that playoff matchup during last season's show. I made the comment on that night because, I got that selective. I remember what I said on such and such date every now and then. I remember saying on that show that unfortunately, whoever wins this playoff game head to head will be selected as the regular season MVP. Even though this is a regular season award, how you perform in the playoffs influences voters. I don't know whether or not the voting had closed at that time, but it definitely influenced people to me because of the Lamar Jackson fumble in that game, the Andrews turnover, and that missed 2-point conversion that he
Hey, so Troy said you said Lamar was number two. He want to know who number one is, and I'm
the
pretty
number
sure he's gonna
one
say Joe Burrows.
in the National Football League is the dude sitting in Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay, okay.
15. Come on, man. We got to win some chips to be considered the guy, and he is the guy. 7 straight years in the AFC title game. Troy, you should know that of all people.
No, that was Fred. Fred
Oh,
asked
Fred.
that question.
Fred, I thought you was a diehard Kansas City guy. Come on, man.
What you mean? Fred ain't no diehard nothing. don't you do that. Don't you give Fred that. Fred is whoever winning. Matter of fact, we
Mm,
need to go check out Fred's latest video. He'll tell you what he is. He's a celebrationist. That's what he say he is. He's a celebrationist.
I saw Fred. I'm putting your business out there, my brother. So forgive me. I saw Fred on Facebook with a championship belt. Hey, Jalen Hurts jersey on.
Yep.
Fly Eagles fly hat. Talking about the champs are here. I'm like, this dude. So you die hard, Philly, go fly Eagles fly now. I got you. Ain't nothing wrong.
Hey, I
All
want
right,
to do.
let's move on.
Hey,
Let's
let's do this before we move on right fast. I do want to give a big shout out to Fred, man. During the off season, we talk about my book, but Fred also graduated from film school this past week, man. I just want to send a big shout out to my boy. Congratulations, Fred, to Showbiz, looking to be showing up at the red carpet one of these days.
CBSA, history on my side. You got to be a little bit more specific when you say film school. The brother got a degree doing what? He in front of the camera, behind the camera. He is a thespian. What is he?
He is behind the camera, man. Fred and he was summa cum laude.
Summa cum laude.
From the LA Film School, man.
Go
Go
Fred.
ahead and give them your credentials, Fred. Give them your credentials in the chat, my brother.
Fred said he is an artiste. All right, man. Let us move on to these other games this weekend. Congratulations, Fred. Super big accomplishment, man. I know we're joking about it, but that is a huge accomplishment. So, a job well done, good sir. Now, man, this could possibly be the battle for the North, the NFC North, in week one. Or this could possibly be a precursor to the NFC Championship game because both of these two teams could quite be in the NFC Championship game and or the Super Bowl. That is how good they are coming into the season. We know that the Detroit 3-1-3 what up dope Lions went 15-2 last year. They were the best team in the National Football Conference from week 1 to week 18, even though half of their defensive starters were on IR by week 10, 11, or 12. They still made it into the playoffs, still hosted a playoff game, but just ran into that second best team from last year, the Washington Commanders, with a extremely hot rookie quarterback, rookie of the year, Jaden LSU Daniels, that cut them off at the knees. They lost both the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator to head coaching jobs, one at Chicago, one with the Jets. Come in with new philosophies on both sides of the ball. But you still have Dan Campbell as your feelers leader. You still have the on-the-field talent. You got Aiden Hutchinson back from injury. So that defense is definitely plussed up and healthier than they finished the year last year. But on the other side of the field that you're traveling to, because they are going to Green Bay, to Lambeau Field, take on a Green Bay Packers team that got very good during the offseason, both through the draft and through free agency and the trade that broke the internet last week with Micah Parsons. They were projected to be a 12-win team prior to this Parsons trade. Now they are one of the favorites to come out of the NFC to make it to the Super Bowl. So, Griff, two Super Bowl caliber teams are showing up at Lambeau Field on Sunday afternoon at 4:30, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that want to watch it on network television, it's going to be on CBS in your local area. But the King of the North was and continues to be, in my eyes, from the 3-1-3. Which team knocks off the other and takes an early commanding, because this is a 2-game lead right off the bat, commanding lead in the NFC North between these two powerhouses?
Hey man, I got Detroit in this game, and hey, I appreciate everybody. Thank y'all for letting us know about Facebook. Everybody, send the YouTube link to your family and friends, because I'm seeing everybody that switched over to YouTube and YouTube acting right. I think even with the two coaches,
on TikTok if you're on TikTok,
yeah, and on TikTok as well, with the two leading with the two coaches, the offensive and defensive coordinator leaving, them players are still there, and the one that sealed everything is that daggone Dan Campbell, like you said. And I think Dan Campbell they still gonna win this game. I think if Detroit do what they supposed to do, yes, Green Bay has Michael Parsons right now, but what is his kryptonite? Running the ball.
Right.
Guess what? Detroit do real well.
Yeah,
running the ball.
yeah.
So again, we'll see if he can if they want to get back there and start passing the ball. Everybody know Jared Goff get happy feet when he get that pressure on him. And Michael Parsons, if you give him that opportunity, then yeah. But I think if you really want to, I guess isolate or stabilize Michael Parsons, run the ball with Gibbs and Montgomery like they was known for doing, because that's what they did. And they talking about using Gibbs in more, even more this year than they did in previous years. So I picked Detroit in this game.
As do I. I know we got 30 seconds left, but you brought up the happy feet of Jared Goff. Jordan Love does suffer from not happy feet, but aggressiveness that creates the same result that those happy feet that Jared Goff has. Jordan Love is a projected MVP candidate. Jared Goff is the epitome of game manager. Which one do you trust more? The one that has the capacity to give you 400 yards and 4 touchdowns and 5 touchdowns because he can sling it on 60-yard bombs? Or do you want the methodical game managing Montgomery, Gibbs onslaught with those receivers that we have from the Detroit Lions long term throughout this season? I know we both got Detroit in this game, but long term,
Jared
how do you
Goff.
see your season out playing out for those two?
If I got to choose between the two, I'm going. I mean, hell, they won last year when Jared Goff threw 4 interceptions in the game against Houston,
Mm-hmm.
and the defense, that broke defense, who's healthy now, and the running game was what did it for him. And so I would still choose Jared Goff over Love every day. I got Minnesota being number 2 in this conference too.
Mm,
I don't think Green Bay. I think it's. I think Green Bay gonna lose out on this trade. That's all I'm gonna say.
really?
Oh,
That's a dash of
fumble!
saltiness, just a dash of saltiness, but I will say this is going to be the best conference in the NFC. The AFC West is the best conference in the AFC. The NFC North is the best conference in the NFC. The conference just might produce 3 playoff teams: Detroit, Minnesota, and Kansas or Green Bay. With Chicago having a winning season, just watch out for this. Just the division. We'll talk about that Bears Viking game a little later. All right, so let us move on, man. We both got the Lions. This is the game that creates a lot of social media and national media hype because of the two quarterbacks, the Steelers versus the Jets under new management, with the same two quarterbacks that were on opposite teams last year. Troy made the comment on Tuesday night that, man, what if the Steelers actually lose this game? Do you think the Jets have what it takes to get a victory on this one at home and shock the Steeler Nation? That'll shock.
I if the Jets offensive line can hold up, man, they problem. I mean, they got one of the better defenses I think in the game, man. They got a serious defense, but in the previous years, man, that offensive line it didn't do Aaron Rodgers no good. It didn't do any of the quarterbacks that was there any good. If the Jets can establish a running game and the defense play the way I think they do, man, because I'm pulling for Justin Fields. He done had a bad rap since he been in the game, man. I know he's better than what he is. I think they gonna utilize his legs a little bit more, play within his wheelhouse, use those running backs like they got them, and I think this game is gonna be a whole lot better than a lot of people think. A Rod he gets the because he been in the game so long and all this other stuff, man. And plus they got Metcalf over there. People giving them the edge, plus the defense, with Watts. But I think this game gonna be a lot closer than people think, man. I tell you what, though, the Chiefs looking real bad. They looking a hot. I mean, not yet. They looking a hot mess.
Yeah, I was just about to comment on that before I talk about this game. Fred, while you're filming the Stephen A. Smith documentary, be reminded that you, sir, are the biggest flip flopper that I have ever seen. The way that you have turned on Patrick Mahomes in the comments, my guy, talking about he trash. That's okay. He gonna come back to bite you, man. I know you still got that Mahomes jersey in your closet. And Troy, yes, Jordan Love is an MVP candidate early on in this season, especially if the Green Bay Packers defeat the Lions on Sunday night. So we shall see how that one turns out. With this game, you're right, Justin Field has gotten a bad rap throughout his young career, both with the Bears and didn't have a real opportunity with the Steelers to prove himself, even though he had a 4-2 record with them last year. He was never their number one guy simply for other reasons: Russ, seniority, longevity, experience, blah, 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 blah. But he has that opportunity with the Jets. And you are right, that defense is a formidable defense. And Justin Fields does have offensive weapons at Garrett Wilson. They do have a good run game when healthy. Justin Fields is a dual threat quarterback. He can use his legs. You say he's gotten a bad rap, but when he has had the opportunity to play, the deep threat with him is just isn't there as compared to other quarterbacks where he can just unleash 60 plus yards. For me, the offense has always been a keep the offensive play calling kind of close to the vest with him. So that lets me know that he has not reached the ceiling of his potential yet. But knowing that I have the job will provide him that additional confidence that I don't have to worry about getting pulled. And having that additional emotional attachment to this game is just another game for both those teams. But I'm looking forward to see how mobile Aaron Rodgers is this year. 2 years removed from the Achilles injury, he should be back to 100% as it pertains to the mobility of that ankle and being able to push off and pivot and juke every now and then when need be when being pressured. So he should have no limitations there. Now, got it. He's 2 years older, almost 42 years old, but you're not looking for him to be a running quarterback. Just be able to escape enough from those 300-pound guys that are rushing him at warp speed. And he has always had a quick release. His arm is still strong from all reports. So I look for the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game.
Man, they got Justin Herbert out here looking like he Lamar Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Okay, but I look for Pittsburgh to win this game, and I look for both quarterbacks to represent at least respectably for their teams. Now, I've pondered about this next game, right? About these two teams. How good can they actually be? Or they're going to hover around the 6th seed or the 7th seed or the 4th seed being the worst, best division winner. The Los Angeles Rams open up their season hosting the Houston Texans. Both of these two teams are playoff teams. Both of these two teams win, at least initially in the playoffs. Both of these two teams have the talent to actually shock a number one seed if they are not the number one seed because they have talent at all of the key positions. They have a recent track record of not only winning the division, but making noise in the playoffs, not only in the wild card round, but in the division round. Houston losing to Baltimore. Baltimore was better that year, expected to lose. Rams losing to the Philadelphia Eagles last year. Philadelphia was better. Philadelphia was hosting the game. So, can either one of these two teams separate themselves in their division early by winning a key game right out of the gate with Matthew Stafford suffering from possible back issues, limitations, injections? It doesn't matter. D'Amico Ryan on the opposite side creating a defense that is going to get after Matthew Stafford while ensuring that his offense with C.J. Stroud and return of Tank and the run game dominates this game. Which one is it going to be?
I think it's going to be that defense testing Matt Stafford and his back and all the other stuff. I think we haven't seen him. That's been the storyline coming out of LA this whole off season. And that's not good when you're talking about going into a season. I think the Texans going to be okay in they division because again, look who they got there. So that's how they make it to the playoffs because it really ain't no competition in there. The
They
Rams,
start off good though. They always end up at about 10-7.
yeah. So again, but they beat the people in they division, so they good and they good. So. And that's all they need to do. This game right here would just give us a kind of a glimpse of what Matthew Stafford and what the Rams look like. Would the Rams be run heavy because of Stafford, or will he be able to get the ball down? Because he got Puka Nakua, he got some of the top guys in the game.
Isn't Devontae Adams on the Rams?
Devontae Adams is there as well. Because so Keenan Allen went to the Chargers. I had it back. So Keenan Allen is with the Chargers and Devontae Adams is out there. So he got some people to get the ball to. It's about whether or not he gonna be able to hold up. Because I think his backup is Stetson Bennett. And
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Troy said wet running game. Man, they running back is one of the
Williams.
top guys in the draft. In any fantasy football draft with Williams.
Yeah.
And they got Corum from Michigan.
Yeah. I mean, the Rams are projected to have one of the top offenses, not only in the NFC West, but also in the NFC as a conference, right? And how does this translate? You are absolutely right. As a defensive-minded coach, D'Amico Ryan, what I would do is I'm coming at you. I am coming after you consistently, and I am coming after you often throughout the first half. I understand Devontae Adams on one side, Puka Nacua on the other side, and we have a solid run game that I have to worry about. But every time that Matthew Stafford drops back, I am not only shadowing, but I'm bringing in an extra person just to kind of see how much mobility you have and your reaction time, since you did not have much practice throughout the offseason. Which team wins this game? Man, this is a hard one for me to pick simply because the Rams are at home. They are a playoff team. They are a legitimate playoff team. And they have the things that you made mention. I'm going with the Rams on this one, man. Who you got?
I'm gonna pick the Texans. I just feel. I mean, again, Matthew Stafford been in the game for a while, but I can't trust his back, bro. And I like the defense of the Houston Texans, and I'm pulling for Nick Chubb, man. I want to see Nick Chubb get out there and do what he do. The Rams don't have the defense that they had of old. They had Donald and stuff like that. So I got the Houston in this one.
Okay.
What Karen says she swear. What you swearing about, Karen? What you swearing about?
Jordan, did the cameras go out? My camera's out on my end. At least on the screen. Okay, anyway. All right, let us move on, man. You got the Texans? Okay. I got the Rams defending home field. This game, Troy, this is especially for you. We only going to spend a minute or two on this game, but the Raiders taking on the Patriots is a very interesting game in week one for me because with a new head coach in Pete Carroll, a new quarterback, and my guy that never writes back, Geno Smith, leading the Raiders with a rookie running back in Genty coming in, who is projected to have very good numbers and improving the Raiders' run game. Crosby back in on the defensive side, leading a tenacious, recharged Raider defense that Troy is proud of this year, taking on.
Troy picked the Patriots, man. He said next game.
You're not even let me talk about his team. Mike Vrabel coming in as a new rookie head coach himself. Well, not rookie head coach, but new to the New England Patriots. You look for the Patriots to look good with that second-year quarterback over Troy's hometown team?
Oh, yes, I do. I mean, and it's because of Gray. He bringing that Patriots mindset to that squad, man. I think that the Patriots going to look different this year than they looked in previous years. The Raiders, as much as they got Geno down there and they got Aston Jenny and they got Brock Bowers, they still the Raiders. so they the Dallas Cowboys of the AFC.
Oh wow! Okay, so you got the Patriots.
I got the Patriots in this game.
All right, well, we'll move on to another team in the NFC East that is projected to be a Super Bowl contender. Wow. The G-men could be rebuilding, or they could be better than many people are giving them credit for. They are still projected to be the fourth best team in the NFC East, but they are actually sneaky good, according to some national media talking heads. You got Russell Wilson. You have a good backup in Jameis Winston. You have a good rookie in Jackson Dart. You have a very, 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 very good receiver in Malik Neighbors and a run game that could actually balance out what you want to do on offense. As the head coach, You may or may not be coaching for your job. I don't know. We'll see. But at the same time, the Washington Commanders on the opposite side not only shocked the NFL world last year, but are projected to not have a sophomore slump like Griff has predicted, and to compete for the division title since no one in the NFC East has repeated as division champs since 2005. Who do you think, Griff, if there is a shocker this weekend of any of the games that we discussed, do you believe that the G men have a legitimate shot to travel to what is that, Upper Marlboro, Maryland, wherever, or Landover, Maryland,
Landover.
and sneaky win against the Commanders?
Any given Sunday, baby.
Any given, yeah.
Any given Sunday. And I think that based off what people are saying, the Giants do have an opportunity. I would love to see it. Me personally, I would love
Of
because
course you would.
them Commanders fans, man, they are some arrogant. Look, they act like they've been
Really? This
forever,
coming from the
man.
Cowboys fan.
So I would love to see the frowns on their face come Sunday, man. So the Giants have the potential to do it. And clap
That
some more.
applause, that applause is for your that applause is for your objectivity.
Yes. But honestly, brother, I got the Giants in this game, man. I think
Really?
I'm sticking to what I said. I don't think the Commanders is going to be that team that everybody think they're going to be this year, based off last. Again, most of those games, just like we talked about with the Chiefs, them games could have went other ways. That's all I'm gonna say. Not taking anything from Jalen Daniels, but I don't think they're as talented as they was last year. That's just me.
Hmm. This game is going to be closer than what people think. I give you that. I do not believe the Giants have enough to travel to DC and in front of an inspired Washington Commander fan base, go in and not only beat an opponent that they are very familiar with at 1 o'clock, but an opponent who is better than them, in all honesty. The talent is the talent, right? We can talk about a possible sophomore slump, but the talent is the talent, and the Commanders are better than the Giants and should be able to defend home field. So I got the Commanders winning this game by at least 10 points. Next game, NFC West. We talked about this game on Tuesday night, and you made mention of the San Francisco 49ers possibly missing their target, missing their window of opportunity, missing a chance to actually winning another Super Bowl. That window has closed, according to you, and Mike Shanahan might just be coaching for his job next year. You think the 49ers are going to be a shell of themselves with, I think it was Troy that made mention on Tuesday night that said that CMC is probably already on the injured list. And
He
then
is.
Tuesday morning, CMC
He
came
is.
out on the injured list.
He is. He is. He having calf problems, man. He passed his prime, bro. This team is
They
I,
could. He said they done.
I look, man. I'm trying to get away from it. The Chiefs look. Hey, Troy said these ain't the Chiefs. These the clones. But I think, man, the 49ers window is closed, man. Just me personally, Drew.
Hmm.
I think that, when they was running on all cylinders, they didn't take opportunity, they didn't take advantage. I think they were cheated in that Super Bowl against the Chiefs. They wonder. And after that game, you seen them steady decline. They didn't basically gutted the team. A lot of the key players is gone now. So I mean, this is probably the hardest game for me to choose from, to be honest, as far as the competition this weekend.
Hmm. So for me, I'm interested in seeing how Sam Darnold comes out the gate with the new head coach for Seattle and whether or not they're going to have any improvement from what Geno Smith and the old ball coach gave them last year. I don't know. The jury is out for me on the Seahawks until I see what they got. San Francisco, I believe the window is closing for them. I don't believe that it is completely closed, but you are absolutely right. They did gut the team and robbed the skill set players, except for CMC. He's extremely versatile, but he's extremely unreliable because he's always hurt. It seems, at least in the past.
Troy said he hurt himself brushing his teeth.
He pulled his cap, brushing his teeth, or making a commercial. No, I'm just playing. But you're right. This is the hardest game to pick. I'm going to go with the 12th man just because they are playing in Seattle. And Seattle kind of puts a damper on the 49ers
Yeah,
season opener and at least remains tied with the Rams for the early season NFC lead because I
I
think
got Seattle in this game too.
okay. All right, man. So let us move on to teams. Did you see how I just exhale like two teams with so much potential over the past 5, 6 years coming into the season for a variety of reasons, right? Both how they looked on the offensive side and how they looked on the defensive side, at least on paper. But the Cincinnati Bengals, I'll talk about them first, continue to disappoint on the defensive side and continue to rob their fans of the opportunity to have deep playoff runs where they are starting from behind every single year that Joe Burrow has been starting quarterback. You made mention in the very opening, it's not about how you start, but how you finish. This is the epitome of starting like garbage and playing catch up for the rest of the year. And for the past several years, or at least for the past couple of years, they have fallen short simply because of their terrible starts at the very beginning of the year. Now, on the opposite side of the ball, you have the $230 million quarterback that has early retired and should be on AARP himself
Man,
because he has consistently stayed hurt since his one phenomenal year in H Town, where Houston completely wasted his accomplishments on the field accomplishments by having such a terrible team. But he had MVP numbers. Him set aside, Deshaun Watson set aside. They have a quarterback carousel that each one of these quarterbacks, I believe, will have the opportunity to not only play this year, but have significant time this year. Joe Flacco, week 1 starter. He is the elder statesman. He does have an arm, but he's this elder statesman. He's extremely limited. He can give Cincinnati the opportunity to have a defense actually give them false hope. Will Cleveland be able to defend home field against a division rival, an intrastate rival playing for the Ohio State Championship, and kind of shock the Cincinnati Bengals once again and have the rest of the world asking them, why can't you win in week 1? Or will Cincinnati right the ship and start the year off like they're supposed to?
it's hard for me to pick Cincinnati, man. You already said it. I mean, they still they refuse to fix that offensive line. They got Chase, they got Wiggins over there, man. Higgins over there, Joe Burrows, but they refuse to fix that daggone offensive line. And I think the thing that's gonna keep the Browns in this game is that defense with Garrett and them over there. It's gonna keep them in the game. It's gonna give Joe Burrow problems. Flacco is early in the season. I think this. I think this is gonna be that year that we see a lot more in Jared Judy, especially since Amari Cooper is gone and he to retire. He went back to the Raiders just to retire. Uh, but I think this game is different for the Browns, and I'm gonna go ahead and move on because I see the 4 zeros there. And Melissa said we were supposed to move on anyway. We weren't even supposed to talk about this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna take the Browns in this game.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Browns in this game.
I'm going to go with the Bengals simply because, that's my offensive squad. I believe the Browns don't have enough offense to outscore the Bengals offense. That is the only reason, not because of the Bengals defense, but what the Browns bring to the offensive battlefield. So, Bengal offense will outperform the Brown offense, and they will score more points. The Bucks and the Falcons, man. The NFC South, my division.
I know
Both
you.
of these
I know you. You don't. You wish both of them could lose.
I wish they both could lose. Both of them at least tie. But one of these two teams is most likely going to win the division at the end of the year. Uh, Can Mr. Penix actually take the horns in A-Town and lead a very good and very talented Atlanta offense into a playoff run? Or will our favorite guy, our favorite commercial guy, Mr. Mayfield, be
But
able to
he
ensure that?
just came back to commercials. He took a hiatus from commercials for a while. You
Yeah.
know, he was staying in the
Uh-huh.
stadium and
Right.
all that. But now I see him in commercials again. So
Yeah.
I don't know that he should have stayed out. He was looking good when he went on commercials, man. So that gave the Falcons a chance.
Uh, well, you think Tampa Bay is going to be able to defend a home field this weekend and give the Dirty Birds their initial L of the year, or does Penix have enough to go down? And
I still think Buccaneers is still the most talented team between the two of these teams. I still think that even with Penix being there, I think Atlanta is still trying to figure out who they are.
hmm,
So just to turn it back over to you, I got the Buccaneers in this game.
okay. I want to go on record and say that I hope y'all both lose. Uh, but most likely, one of these two teams shall win the game. I guess I'm in hometown picker on this Friday night because I believe these teams are two evenly matched teams. Penix is going to figure how much leeway he is given coming right out of the gate because the Atlanta coaching staff understands that division games are absolutely critical right out of the gate. We cannot afford to not only go 0-1, but we cannot afford to lose to a vaunted division rival who is most likely going to be our main competition to win this division because this division will only send one team to the playoffs. It will be the division winner. I think the hometown team defends home field with the Bucks traveling to Atlanta to take on the Falcons in the Mercedes Atlanta Dome. I think the Falcons figure out a way, just like they gave the game away last year against the Steelers. They figure out a way to defend home field on the opening weekend and win this one. So you got the Bucks, I got the Falcons.
Hey man, all they need is 8 in your division. All you need is 8 wins. That's it. They good. They good. You ain't got to do that much in y'all division, but it's all good.
Uh, I'll accept that at the very beginning of the season until we see
I
how.
got the Vikings in this game, man. I know we closing. I got the Vikings, man.
I'm interested to see how my fantasy quarterback does. The number one overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft, Caleb Williams. I'm interested to see how he performs. I'm interested to see how your rookie of the year, JJ McCarthy, does. Yes, I have the Vikings as well. This should be a good game on Monday night, but we'll see.
I do want to, like you said, I do want to see some improvement. I need to see some improvement from Caleb Williams from how he was last year.
So,
But me personally, yeah, I got the Vikings in this game. Hey, Drew is getting a phone call from the president. He asked him to come back and get rid of his DD 214 and come on back on active duty. So let's go ahead. Let me see who I got. Let me look at some of these comments right fast. Let me see. Atlanta swept the division last year. Yeah. Uh, Troy said, I took Methuselah. Yeah, I did take the elder statesman. And you're right, Melissa. Joe Burrows happened to be on a team where his talent gonna be wasted because as long as he there, he gonna continue to have a season full of injuries. So you're absolutely right. So Jordan, let's go ahead and pull that next one up. I was telling them that the president called you back on active duty, man.
yeah, and I had to humbly decline. So that shall not happen. Anyways, all right, next game, man. Two college games that I wanted to really touch on, right? Real quick before we close out for the night. Was this game between a Big Ten powerhouse against what many people want to say as an SEC powerhouse, the Oklahoma Boomer Sooners in Norman, Oklahoma tomorrow? Do you think Michigan has what it takes to travel down to SEC country and hand another SEC team a early season loss, or will the Oklahoma Sooners be able to defend home field?
I think Oklahoma, man, will be. Michigan got a true freshman back, that quarterback, man, and what we seen this past weekend, these freshmen, yeah, they look good, but when you get many of them ain't never played in these hostile environments before, and I still think even though Oklahoma looked somewhat shady last year, they still part of the SEC, and I got to pull for my SEC team. Michigan, they're gonna have to come in there and being able to pass the ball, and I just don't see it happen. That's not what they do, and I think that OU will stop the running game for Michigan and win this game.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The home field advantage should provide a level of buffer that the Sooners may need. They represented themselves last week well in their season opener and look to be able to defend home field against a very good, very tough, defensive minded Michigan team. So this should be a close game, but home field should provide the edge or provide Oklahoma that the edge that they're going to need to win a close, entertaining game. All right, man. Did we talk about South Carolina during my phone
Hey,
call?
we didn't, and I was like, why did Drew pick this game right here? All games, South Carolina State is a Pop Warner team, bro. I'd have been there.
Hey, slow your roll, slow your roll. I'm trying to give the number one fan his initial show props because these are two teams that I know Troy care very much about. This is a game specifically that is catered for you, Troy. I want to know your opinion as to why you believe the South Carolina Gamecocks, who could be a national powerhouse this year, decided to set this game up. Will this make them better, or does this give SC State the opportunity to shock the world? I know we both picking South Carolina, but do you think South Carolina State has a hope and a dream and a prayer to actually come out of this game looking respectable, Griff?
Who South Carolina State?
Yes.
No, man, bro.
He's
I'd have been down to South Carolina State. I'd have been to homecoming and everything, bro. We went down there. Me and my partner Cook. We did a barbecue for the ROTC program. Them jokers had one pants leg up, one pants leg down, and hats tilted to the side. South Carolina had something to prove this year to a lot of people because everybody in the SEC always get them a bad rap, and I like what they coach is doing down there with that team. That daggone Sellers is the truth. I think it's gonna be. I think this game is gonna be over with before halftime.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. This should be a 50-10 game, 50-15 game, but we shall see. I just wanted to give Troy a little bit of props to give his home.
Man, don't do that, man. Don't cater to Troy.
That's gonna be the only time because we're not gonna be able to talk about his team the rest of the calendar year. So we have to make sure that we continue to provide him with the level of interest that he is going to need to continue to engage back and forth. All right, because he's going to be a hostile customer here for the next 4 or 5 months.
Oh man.
So, man, phenomenal show. We got a lot of big games that are happening this weekend, both on the collegiate level that we did not talk about, and more importantly on the NFL level for some people that we did talk about, even though we may not have hit the game of your favorite team. It's still going to be a phenomenal opening weekend. This game tonight could be a shocker to a whole lot of people. I picked the Kansas City Chiefs to pull this out, so we shall see how the second half goes. And I hope your team does well this weekend, wins their season opener if they have not already played Cowboys and Eagles, and this game happening now. So we shall see when we come back on Tuesday. Griff, you got any closing comments for the roundtable audience on this fine Friday evening?
Again, as always, I just want to say thank the crew for coming up here. Jordan to put it up on the screen. If you have not don't talk about it, be about it yet. Hey, I don't know what you're missing out on. Hit your boy up if you want a signed copy, or you can go to Amazon. But to the Roundtable family, I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Again, we had technical difficulties, but y'all shifted. Y'all, that's what y'all do. I love the way y'all adapt and y'all overcome. Y'all shifted. Y'all moved over to YouTube, and we were still able to have fun. Troy, we did not set you up, man. We would never set you up. You set your own self up for just being a South Carolina and a Raiders fan. But I do say this, man. Your boy did put himself in a situation where he might just be one of the front runners for the Heisman Trophy. Troy says Sellers is probably going to be in that. And based off what I've seen with that kid from last year and what I've seen this past weekend, he will be in the Heisman Trophy talk. I know it's still early in the season, but I like him. And that's all I got, Drew.
Replacing Arch Manning, because the performance that he showed last weekend should have a humongous game this weekend against SC State. That early season Heisman conversation between him and several other quarterbacks across the country is going to generate that conversation. So, phenomenal show. Again, I reiterate what was mentioned a few minutes ago. Hopefully your team does well. I'm looking forward to the conversation and engagement on multiple platforms throughout the next 6 months. As Griff loves always to say, share it with a friend. Like, follow, and subscribe. Push out the show data as often as you possibly can. And as he said, if you have not gotten your copy, hardback or paperback, of Don't Talk About It, Be About It, make sure that you get it at whatever selling platform that Griff has. He has multiple, so I don't want to go down.
Some people, I understand some people boycotting Amazon and stuff like that. So I just want to make sure I got to get the people what they want. If they don't want to go to Amazon, I got to get the people what they want, baby. So I'm moving these kits, baby. Moving these kits.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, y'all have a phenomenal weekend. Enjoy a weekend full of football. Y'all take care of yourselves. Do something nice for yourselves. Take care of your family. Do something nice for your family. And given the opportunity, do something nice for somebody that you may not even know, because it just might be the best thing that happens to them on that particular day. Y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be breezy.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Oh, lovely.